How much cash flow can your Dubai property actually produce? So a friend of mine recently came to Dubai and he was trying to invest into 3 apartments. And the agent pitched them on 8% yield. And I asked him, like, what do you mean by 8% yield? He was very happy. He said, I'm not getting 8% in my country. I'm getting only 2%. So I said, like, is it net profit? Is it net revenue? Have you calculated like your DEWA, your Empower charges, like your utility bills? Are you paying for the internet if you're going to rent it? Or have you calculated your service charges that you're paying for that apartment? And he had no clue what I was talking about. And this is the same situation with many new investors that come to Dubai. But if you've already got experience, or like whether you're a new investor, please watch this video because I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to hit 8 to 12% net profit every single year on your investment. And unless like you pay attention to what I'm about to say here, 90% of the market, which is Dubai real estate agencies and like developers, they're gonna try to scam you. Okay, so let's get started. Before we get started, I'm gonna give a quick intro on myself. My name is Arman. I'm a property investor in Dubai. I own 9 properties, fully paid for in cash, no mortgage, zero debt. Plus, our family has multi 8-figure, like tens of millions of dollars in property assets internationally. We own a building. We've got 300,000 plus in residential plots in premium areas. We've got over 200,000 square foot of warehouse in one of the most expensive warehouse areas in our city, and 4 warehouses overall. So all of these are tens of millions of dollars in valuation, zero debt, all paid for. As mentioned, we don't do a lot of debt. So I mention all of this so you know that this is coming from an investor to investor. We try to grow and preserve our wealth, generation after generation with properties. So whenever we buy something, we marry them, and we have to analyze them exactly like from zero. So everything I'm saying is coming from an investor mindset, how to preserve and grow your net worth, and in the process, we're gonna enjoy a nice cash flow, right? So let's get started. There are 3 main metrics that you should always analyze before buying any investment vehicle in Dubai. Okay, metric number 1, cash flow per unit. So if you're buying an apartment, you should analyze how much cash you're gonna put into your pocket every single year. So this is just a number, right? I need a minimum to be able to, make that investment. For example, if I buy a property for 1 million dirhams, I'm gonna have a minimum cash flow per unit of 6,000 dirhams. So this is the money I collect. I put cash in my pocket after I've paid all the expenses. It's not a percentage. It doesn't have to do with any percentages. It's just not gonna be worth the hassle to deal with a tenant that is paying anything less than that, right? It's not a percentage thing, right? It's just a minimum cash that I'm collecting every single month. So mine is a minimum of 6,000, and let me tell you like how important this might be to you. And this is exactly what my friend was mistaken about. So the purchase price, the average price. So he was pitched on 3 apartments in the same tower. The purchase price was 1.5 million dirhams on average. Expected annual rent was 120,000. So if you divide 120 by 1.5 million, you're gonna be left with 8% net yield. Okay, but again, after you calculate all the costs, realistically, you're gonna get 100,000 dirhams a year on rent, not 120. You're gonna minus the service charges that you have to pay to the property management company. So for those of you that are not familiar, service charges are the fees that you pay to the management company that manages that tower. So you have to pay them every single year, right? And for this, you have to talk to them. They're usually gonna charge you per size. The bigger your apartment, the more you're gonna pay. So all the utility bills and all the fees that you have to pay, he had to pay 15,000 dirhams every single year. So if you divide if you divide these 2 numbers, not divide, sorry, if you deduct these 2 numbers from the main annual rent, you're going to be left with 55,000 dirhams, which is 3.7% net profit and net yield, not 8%. So this is what he was actually going to make. And you need to have this in mind before you make any decision. Metric number 2 is cash on cash return. So this is where percentages come into play. I want to know how much net profit, like percentage wise, am I gonna make exactly on my investment every single year. So if I buy an apartment, let's say for 1 million dirhams, can I hit 100,000 dirhams every single year net profit, like after I paid all my costs? And the formula is very, very simple. You have your annual net cash flow divided by total capital invested multiplied by 100. I'm going to give you an actual example for two properties, and this is very important. In Dubai, I would suggest 8% should be your your bare minimum to proceed with any property. If the formula gives you anything less than this, then please do not proceed. Okay? So here's the thing. Let's say someone buys an apartment in Dubai Marina for 1,400,000 dirhams, and he's a cash buyer. He has to pay 4% Dubai Land Department fees. So this is a government entity that facilitates the transaction, and they're gonna charge 4% Dubai Land Department fees on your investment, and there's no way you can get out of it, so you have to pay that. And you have 2% agency fee, which is the real estate brokerage firm that facilitates the transaction. Sometimes you can negotiate with them to make it 1%. That's also an option. But anyway, you're gonna pay 6% of these fees, plus some small fees that you have to pay for trustee fee when you make the transaction, your NOC fee, and the cost is gonna be 1,490,000 dirhams invested so far. Okay, so let's say you pay 34,000 dirhams in annual costs. Okay, for your service charges and your utility bills, whether you pay them or like this is negotiable. Like you can talk to the tenant whether you're the one paying them or not. But anyway, for the sake of this, I'm just doing the calculation like this. So you're gonna have 90,000 collected on rent every single year on long-term rentals, minus 34,000 dirhams. You're gonna be left with 56,000 dirhams a year. If you divide that by 1,490,000 dirhams, you're gonna be left with 3.7% cash on cash return. So you're collecting 3.7% profit every single year, which is horrible. Your main and your bare minimum should be 8% in Dubai. That's what I aim for. So scenario B, the Stalia DXB approach. So Stalia DXB is a company I founded. It's a private company which I use, to buy properties and then manage them on short-term rentals, which is Airbnb, Booking.com, VRBO, these platforms, to get higher ROI. If you're biased about Airbnb and Booking.com and you think they're not working, I don't know if you're from the US, maybe the UK or any other country, they're working perfectly in Dubai. So just put your biases aside. Like this is my first time, with short-term rentals in Dubai. I started this entire operation 1 year ago, and I'm not going back to long-term rentals. I have a much higher ROI, and in fact, long-term rentals in Dubai are against you. Like I've had tenants, that I've had legal issues with them, and I could not get my money back because the government favors the tenants. You cannot easily kick them out. You're going to be stuck with your tenants for life. It's very difficult to kick them out unless they want to go out. And I'm also getting higher ROI on short-term rentals. So why would I ever want to, deal with the headache? So anyway, let's say you use our method, which is my method. I put 100, 200, 500 offers to get one apartment, just a single apartment, okay? If I want to buy more, I have to put shit tons of offers. So with that method, you're going to get a distressed deal. Like there's no way you putting that many offers and not getting a distressed deal. You buy 10 to 15% below market price using this strategy. So you can buy a nice JVC apartment, a one bedroom for 750,000 dirhams, okay? And if you pay in cash, you pay your 6% fees. It's going to be 861,000 dirhams invested after you pay like all your fees, okay? And your trustee fees, admins, everything, okay? Let's say you also do like a professional fit out. That's why I've also included this cost. So you're buying an older tower, you have to pay a little for renovation. So your total cost is going to be 861,000 dirhams invested. Now here's the beauty. You pay 27,500 on annual costs. You're going to make 100,000 dirhams a year. So you're going to ask, why am I making more here compared to Marina? Because JVC, is a cheaper area. The reason is you're operating it on short-term rentals where you can earn 40% more than long-term rentals. So you're earning more with short-term rentals. Do you have more headache? Guests coming in, going out? Yes. But guys, I have never visited any of my properties during my guest stays. I have this entire thing automated. I have people in place. I have cleaners. I have managers. So I'm not dealing with anything. And yep, I'm making a lot more. Okay, so my net cash flow is going to be 72,500 here. on short-term rentals, and if you divide that by the entire cost that this guy has paid, is 8.4% net profit, cash on cash return. So if you had anything like above 8%, you're good. You can make that investment. So the comparison is 3.7% and 8.4%. The reason this is very important, let's say you have $4 million in $4 million portfolio in Dubai. So if you get 8% every single year, that's going to be 320,000 every single year that you're going to collect on rental income. But if you're collecting not even 3.7%, 4%, that's going to be 160,000 every year. If you multiply it by 10, like in 10 years, the difference is going to be $1,600,000 in rental income that you've missed by purchasing the wrong apartments. And that's how everyone pitches you in Dubai. And by the way, you can easily refinance up to 60, 70, or sometimes 80% of your properties and buy more. When you have a high ROI, you can just, keep scaling this operation to crazy levels. So you need to also consider these as well. Okay. And number 3 is total return. So guys, you need to put inflation, the value you add, to your property, like everything into place. This is the formula that we're going to analyze at the end to see how much like total return we can have, not cash on cash return. The formula is very simple. We calculate everything. Cash flow, like how much monthly cash flow we're going to get from that property, plus appreciation. So if your property is cheap, cannot have appreciation, mortgage pay down, and forced value creation. So guys, with these cheaper properties and cheaper apartments, you need to realize you have a forced value creation. So on my 2-bedroom apartment, which I bought for 1.2 million dirhams, I'm pretty sure no one can get that price at all. I spent 60,000 dirhams, but I added 200,000 dirhams in value. So I made it look very, very nice, and I made, a lot of money for doing so. And my appreciation, so here's the thing. My apartment could definitely be fixed. Like I had one apartment like this. The management company changed. The price went up immediately because the management companies are crap. And in that area, I'm very confident within the next few years, the management is going to change. So I'm very secure, with that apartment. So you calculate all of these and they're going to be like your total return. Okay. And that's pretty much the last one. I've got some comparison between London and Dubai. You're going to pay taxes. So your 12% total return in London is going to be 7.5%. But in Dubai, you're collecting everything because you pay 0 income tax and 0 appreciation tax. And guys, by the way, if you need any help with any of this, just message me on WhatsApp. This is only for investors. I'm trying, to grow a network of investors. So we all, can make better decisions together, maybe put offers together and kind of be more informed about the market. And if you need help with managing your property on short-term rentals, then do message me. If it makes sense, I'm going to help you with the management. If it doesn't, then I'm just going to, tell you what to do. But this is only for investors. If you're